Hi, Richie.
Hi, Sen. Are you recording now?
Yeah, I pressed record.
Okay.
Why would I say hi to you in the middle of a conversation if we've been talking for 2 hours?
It was just a very abrupt, like... We're just like, hi, Richie.
Richie, can you read the title of the Zencaster room?
All the screams that followed byrgenwerth, the making of part 1.
It's no, you read it wrong. It's supposed to be all the screams that followed.
Is that your name for it?
byrgenwerth. Wait, no, what? Let me read this. Okay, are you ready? I need to get into my dramaticism. All the screams that followed. byrgenwerth, the making of part 1. You didn't add the pauses in the right place.
Yeah. I think by the end of it, you were approaching something like the old man voice from Happy Wheels. So if only you'd got on that gravy train.
What is that? What?
Happy Wheels was an old physics-based, racing game. Where you were a character and you just went along a series of obstacles, and if you hit anything, you died extremely graphically. And one of the characters was an old man.
Oh.
So people, if you can call them people, would spend days and days and days just uploading footage of themselves playing Happy Wheels as the old man going, "Oh, I'm an old man, I'm driving along a road. Oh no, I just hit something and now I'm dead. Ah! Oh, where's my medicine? I'm old."
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah. How do you not know? How did... It's like you were frozen in ice for, the entire of the 2010s.
Okay, well, do you remember what all the screams that followed is referring to?
No.
Okay, when we did our scary episode of Saturday Night Snack Covenant.
When was that?
The one where we read out a bunch of movie names and then we say whether we've seen it or not. And you were like, don't release it. We can do better than this.
That sounds like me.
So one of them was Scream, and I was like, I've seen that Scream and all the screams that followed, and you were like, oh, that sounds like a book or a scary movie or whatever. And people picked up on it, and then, for example, Doom Kitty mentioned that all the screams that followed really sounds like something I would desperately want to read. And then Rorik made a comment. Let me go find it. Just a second. It's loading. Comment is loading. Oh no, what did Rorik say? Oh, I can't find it. Okay, maybe I hallucinated. I was sure Rorik made a comment about all the screams that follow as well.
Yeah, it's just going to turn out that you just imagined people wanted this.
No! Oh my god. What happened was that it inspired me to be like, what if we have a segment from time to time on Patreon somewhere where we record the making of a lore that we're gonna do and call the series All the Screams That Followed.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do now is that we're trying to create some Willem lore. So I made a Google Doc with Willem and some questions that Rich and I would try to find the answers to, and then we'll try to write a script, and then we'll try to make it into lore. Okay?
Okay.
Are you on
I'll
that
just
page,
open
Rich?
it. No, I closed it. That's what made Zencaster freeze the first time.
Oh, you poor child.
Okay.
So you know how I made a tweet that says, Richie just said, hey Sin, when are we doing Corpses of Bloodborne? He was sarcastic, now he will pay. Should we do Corpses of Bloodborne? And there's a poll. Yes, do Corpses of Bloodborne. No, don't do Corpses of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So the comments are like, oopsie, I think he did a Richie by Holdsworth Ends. And I'll explain this to you later.
This is going to be something to do with the Patreon that I'm not a member of.
What? No. Oh, no. I can explain Holdsworth now if you want. Basically, no, it's too long to explain. We'll explain on another episode of Saturday Night Snack Covenant. And then Angelton is like, the real question is, should you do an episode for each corpse or 1 6-hour-long episode covering them all? And Harvey was like, the real corpse is Bloodborne itself because it's been lured
Oh,
to death.
wait, hang on. The corpses of Bloodborne Do It has dropped to 76%. Yeah.
I know, right? But it's still 76
Look,
versus
we're riding
24.
ride the wave.
But wait, I'm going no, but then John Cheatman said, yes, especially the friendly ragdoll ones that just want to hang out. Oh. And then Krishnikov said, do them and make him suffer. So cute. But then John Cheatman retweeted my tweet and said, need some more yes upvotes, please. So, did you see? Yeah. So I think Corpses of Bloodborne is going to be a new thing. But anyway, that was just a aside. So yeah, so what we're going to try to do is look at this document and try to come up with Willem's like life or whatever. Cool? Okay, so I have some things outlined, and one of the questions that I have is, where was Willem born?
We don't know. Okay. He was born outside of Yharnam.
How do you know he was born outside?
Because everyone from Byrgenwerth is supposed to be like an outsider to Yharnam.
How do we know that?
Because the whole point of Byrgenwerth is that they like didn't understand the history of Yharnam, so they went to research it.
So Byrgenwerth didn't understand the history of Yharnam, so they went to research it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. So we got something. He was born outside. That's good. So can you tell me anything about his family?
They probably decided to call him Willem.
Oh, that's a good one. They called him Willem.
No, but he might have changed his name.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm sure. Do you have any feelings about like what his family may have been like?
Well, I'm assuming that he's like from an upper class like family who probably had quite a bit of money and were like scholars.
Probably family of scholars.
He probably came from like an upper class family
Okay.
who could like afford to educate him.
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah. Educate him. Okay. And where did he live before coming to Yharnam?
Well, this is the whole thing about Byrgenwerth. Because like Byrgenwerth could be the name of the city in Forbidden Woods, for all you know. Because they call it it's called Byrgenwerth University, but you have like Oxford University or like Melbourne University or whatever, and that just like it's also the name of the town, city. Yeah.
Yeah, like Université de Montréal.
Yeah. So like, and that city in Forbidden Woods is never named. So I'm wondering if like that area is actually called Byrgenwerth. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you, Richie. Where did Willem go to school?
Well, maybe he may have gone to Byrgenwerth for all you know.
So like a transfer student?
No, like Byrgenwerth might have been there for like 200 years, and he was like educated at Byrgenwerth and eventually like became the head of it.
Yeah, no, but if he was born outside,
Byrgenwerth is
he would have
outside
had
of
to
Yharnam.
be a transfer student. So you thinking he could have been born in Byrgenwerth City? That doesn't look like much of a city, though.
But we don't know. Okay, where else do we know? There's Yharnam, there's Hemwick, there's Canehurst, there's Byrgenwerth, and then there's Lauren and East, and the East. So,
what if he comes from Canehurst?
God, is it fucking 2015 again? This is just like, here's a random character in a random place. What if they're connected? And it's like, why? I don't know.
No, but like, They seem fancy, you know. And you said he comes from like an upper class family who could pay his
Maybe.
education.
Thinking about the names, right, that they use in Bloodborne,
Mm-hmm.
I suspect that there is some other place near Yarnum that is like vaguely Germanic, and maybe that's where Willem and Byrgenwerth and like Ludwig come from, because those are like Germanic names.
So Willem, Ludwig,
Not
and
like
who?
Byrgenwerth, because Byrgenwerth sounds like Byrgenwerth. It
Oh,
sounds like vaguely Germanic.
interesting. That is a very interesting observation, Richard. What? What? Why are you what? What? I can't give you a compliment now?
I'm just having horrible feelings about where this is going to go. Names of Bloodborne.
Wait, what?
Names of Bloodborne. Get a name dictionary. What does Eileen mean? What are the different spellings of Eileen?
Wait, name dictionary.
Oh no.
Let's see, Willem. Baby name
I
dictionary.
think
Oh
it's
my
meant to
god,
be
that's so cute.
Wilhelm,
It's Willem.
because that would fit with like like
Wilhelm.
Byrgenwerth being a
How do you even spell that?
Wilhelm.
W-I-L-E Wilhelm.
Wilhelm. Because
Wilhelm.
that sounds like Wilhelm and Byrgenwerth sound like they belong together.
Because I'm gonna say something to Richard that's revolutionary. I'm on babynamewizard.com because at some point Willem was a baby. So this applies.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you see him and he's old, you're like, oh, he was never a baby, but he was. Maybe he was baby Yoda. Who knows?
He's a bit like Yoda.
Yeah, because he like meditates one with the Force. Yeah. Okay, so Wilhelm, origin of the name William, from the Old Norman French Willum, which is derived from the Old High German Wilhelm, a compound name composed from the elements willio, will determination, and helm, protection, helmet, hence resolute protector. William is the most popular name introduced to England by Normans. It was bloodborne, by William the Conqueror, who invaded England and defeated Harold Knights. It says here Harold.
Yeah.
At the Battle
Yeah.
of Hastings by 3 other kings of England. The 4 kings, I can connect this to so many Soulsborne elements. We could have baby name lore. Baby name lore of Bloodborne. Thank you, Richie. So, what sparked his interest for the occult?
I don't know.
But okay, you're like a professor, right?
We'll say so, yeah.
What sparks your interest for the occult?
But, well, my interest in the occult largely dates from being like 15.
Okay, well, maybe it's the same thing.
I didn't formally study it.
Okay.
I mean, if Dahlia were here, we could ask her. But you're stuck with me.
Oh. Okay, so maybe something from his youth. Basically.
But do you know what okay. Do you want me to like go into this?
Yeah, well, this is why I'm asking. What, do you think I'm just pretending? This is for fun. No, please don't answer the questions, Richie. Waste everybody's time.
No, but it's not like in the game.
No, but that's why I'm asking. I know it's not in the game. Go on, Richie.
Yeah, because I view Byrgenwerth as like if you think about it as like a 19th century British like Victorian university, then they're probably trying to like develop a wholly scientific understanding of everything. So his interest in the occult is probably that he has encountered things he doesn't understand and is attempting to like develop a sort of rational system by which to understand them. But because it's bloodborne and it's not entirely that, he's also a sort of philosopher, mystic type. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that makes sense, yeah.
So it's somewhere in between like a university and an occultist group. Yeah.
Okay, so that's byrgenwerth. So that's what he went for. But I'm just like wondering, before, so these are questions basically before he established byrgenwerth, right? Like what his life
But
was
he
like
might not have
and
established Byrgenwerth.
stuff.
Because Byrgenwerth could be older than him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, before he became, I guess, a
Yeah.
professor of the occult. Do you have any idea why he became an academic?
Well, I'm assuming he was just interested in the natural world, and he was from a wealthy enough background that he could be educated in it. I'm thinking of Derasene as well, because Derasene kind of does that. Because Derasene has the...
What's his name? Yeah. What's
No,
Willem's
the
name?
Uspiensky stuff in Derasene. Where it's like there was...
Okay.
It's like the story of this boy, and like when he's a young boy, he gets fascinated by animals in the forest. And then that develops into him being like a natural scientist, which then evolves into him studying fairies. Because he sees fairies as the key to understanding like the life essence of things. Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. So let's move on to Willem after he graduated. What did he do after school? Do you think? Because it's like, I'm just wondering, how did it go from, okay, he went to school, he did his studies, and now he's like, I'm going to be a professor.
That's like just an academic career path. Like you stay in, and then he would have done like his like doctoral work, and then stayed on, and then become a fellow, and then gradually just moved up until he was like the head of the university. Like that's pretty common that there'll just be people who like enroll in university and they're just there for the rest of their lives, moving up the hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And at what point did he encounter the catacombs? Like, at what point did it go from like mild Byrgenwerth to like, oh my god, we're gonna go in the catacombs and let's like...
Well, probably not that long ago.
So,
like, we'll say like maybe 25 to 30 years ago.
So, but let's say in the timeline of how many years after he like got his PhD?
How old do you think he is?
I don't know. Like, I guess he'd get his PhD in his mid-30s, right?
Well, okay, if you assume he's like 80, right?
Yeah.
Then, okay, if we assume Willem is 80 and the timeline of Lawrence leaving to now is about 20 years, then he would have been like 60 when Lawrence left, so he would have... And then him studying the catacombs has to come before that, but not that far before. So we'll say so that like 5 to 10 years. So we'll say like in his like sometime in his 50s they found the catacombs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometime in his 50s they found the catacombs. And like, how do you think they found the catacombs? Is it something that was always known, that it's like, oh well,
no, they were
catacombs
exploring
around? But what sparked the exploration?
Well, but like you can see that the catacombs are around Byrgenwerth. So they were probably studying...
but like, why did they?
because they're
Yeah.
scientists, like they're like colonial scientists. They see something and their response is, well, we have to figure this out and figure out how it works and then force our like understanding on it.
But did they like? But like, did they start like digging? Like they just see something like, let's dig here. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what happened in like Egypt, like when the like
Oh, yeah?
British showed up and they're like,
Oh.
oh look, here's a weird tomb. Let's just dig it up. And it
Oh,
doesn't
I
matter
see.
what the people who live here think. We're just going to dig it up.
Yeah. That sucks.
I mean, you've seen what they did to the Hamlet.
Yeah, that comes after.
No,
though.
but that shows you what they're like, because they're just like, we need to figure out how
Right.
this thing works. Just like, who gives a shit? Kill everyone.
Yeah, yeah. So they're like, oh, we're doomed, dig it up, and they stumble upon a whole labyrinth of things.
Yeah.
And so how do you think their first expedition went? Was it just like a bunch of like academics going down the labyrinth and then like getting like most of them getting murdered by what's down there, or
Yeah, they say that. They say that they went down the labyrinth and that's where they found the phantasms.
no, but I mean, do you think a lot of people got murdered and that's why they decided to employ hunters?
Yeah, that might be why they have hunters in the first place, because like they would have, like they would not have been able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why like Gurman calls Willem like Master Willem. Like he obviously was there and like they went to the Hamlet together and
So they couldn't defend themselves against what was in the labyrinth. So the hunters, because Willem is the first hunter, right?
Willem.
But also, oh, sorry, I'll be hardcore. Willem is the final boss with his rap. No, who am I thinking? Gurman is the first hunter. But also there seem to be other hunters around, like the executioners and like the Kinehurst hunters, right? The what's his name? The vile blood guy? Crow of Kinehurst. And then so is hunters a thing that existed before and then Willem was like, we'll have our own hunters? Or did they originate the hunters?
No, the hunter thing is confusing. I think the idea is like every civilization has had something like the hunters, but they weren't necessarily called the hunters. Because they talk about like the Knights of Canehurst were called the hunters. Well, like they're Canehurst hunters. And like the brand of the hunter is something that's always existed. Yeah, right, and like I think it's much more clear in the removed stuff that like there's like no, in the removed stuff there's a guy, there's like a knight who's clearly meant to be like, this is the like 500 years ago version of Gurman. Because he's like a medieval version of Gurman. He's got like the peg leg and like he's got like a halberd instead of the scythe, but he's like the same kind of character. It's clearly meant to show that like every time this has happened when we've encountered the Great Ones and the blood of the Great Ones, it's as like a response, there's had to have been like a group of people who controlled the beast outbreaks.
Okay. So would the 500-year-old Gurman be called the first hunter? Because that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, but there may have been one before them as well.
Oh my god, that reminds me, you know, because I imagined it's like I'm the first hunter, and then you know how certain animals make themselves look like bigger or whatever to be intimidating. It's like I'm the first hunter, and then he just like raises his hands in the air trying to make himself look bigger,
flashing his eye spots.
What is that?
You know how some moths have patterns that look like circles on their wings?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. That's so if light reflects off them, it looks like it's the face of an animal, and it scares other
Oh,
animals away.
that's smart. Do you know what I've been doing? Like
What?
when I want my boyfriend to bring me snacks and he's like, "Oh, get it yourself. I'm tired," or whatever, which rarely happens because he
Yeah.
loves me so much. But when it happens,
Yeah.
I just go, "Ugh," and I just make myself bigger. Like I just like
Couldn't
put
you
my
use that
shoulders.
energy to just get up and get them?
No, so I put my shoulders to like up where my head is, and my elbows up, so I'm just like bigger. You know what I mean? Like, "Ugh," and then
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
bring food. Look at me, I'm big.
You're quite small, though. So it would just make you, like, a normal-sized person.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not making myself bigger. It's more like I'm trying to make myself wider when I do this. Maybe I should just raise my. Okay, that's a good idea. If I raise my arms, I'm taller. Can I do both at the same time? Oh my god, but if I raise one arm and the other one to the side, I'm making contact, but I'm bigger and I'm wider. Maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe they were threatening the moon presence. Maybe that's what make contact is, Richie. Look, I'm doing it right now. Look how much bigger and wider I am. We figured it out. Oh my god. Yeah, are you happy?
Yeah,
Are you happy we finally figured it
yeah.
out?
Yeah.
So yeah, if somebody's like, whatever, annoying, you just do the make contact thing and they'll be like, whoa, bro, I'm sorry.
Check Twitter, I replied to Corpses of Bloodborne again.
Oh, did you make contact? You're trying to intimidate me? Okay. Oh my god, what is this? I love this. Explain.
All across America. It's a landslide, Corpses of Bloodborne.
Oh, I see. This is beautiful. Oh my god. This is amazing. I love this. This is the best thing I've seen in my life. Oh god.
Corpses of Bloodborne has all 538 electoral college votes.
Woo! Oh, Jesus Christ. That's beautiful.
I like how your avatar is this like cute anime drawing of you, and then like you send me photos of yourself where you're going like ah.
Yeah, I asked Ike to capture my one good angle. Yeah. Oh my god. That is so cute. I love it. I really love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what happened?
I just went back to the document. I realized you've been editing it as we've been talking. So it's got, how is his family? They called him Willem, maybe, unsure.
Yeah, I've been editing it as we were talking. I'm writing down notes. Jesus. It startled the hell out of me. Okay. So you know the lady in the catacombs, the one that's dressed like a witch? I think she's a fire lady.
What, the Keeper of the Old Lords? With the katana.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a tall, like your character model with the witch's hat and can shoot fire. Yeah, Keeper, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Do you think she's a hunter or some sort of a hunter?
No, she's a Thumerian.
Well, could she be like a Thumerian hunter type?
Yeah, the Thumerians would have had hunters, yeah. You can see that in...
But could she be one?
Yeah, probably.
Yes! Oh my god, why did I have to drag this question out of you? You could have just
Because you
answered
can
yes
see
the
that
first
the
time I asked it.
Thumerians had, like... They also had transforming weapons, and they had, like, firearms, and they had, like, melee weapons, and that's how they fought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, the next section would have to be about the fishing hamlet, and I think we can do it next time, actually. Because I feel like we covered this, and I'm going to try to type out some notes, see what makes sense, and then next time we can go over Willem and the fishing hamlet. What do
I
you
think we
think?
can probably do that now. We can do that in 15 minutes.
I feel like we're gonna be late, and
No,
I
it's
feel
alright. It's alright. The
bad
place I'm going doesn't
because we
shut
have to.
until 6:30.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
quickly, like,
Okay.
let's do it again. Um, they have their hunters. They go into the catacombs, and then the university, like, like, does the university grow? Does Willem become like? How do these events happen? That he
He was
becomes the
already
head
the
of
head
the
of the
university?
university.
Oh, you think
Yes.
he was already head? Okay, but then in the catacombs, what did they
Slugs.
encounter that made them go? Ooh, they encountered slugs. But wasn't it like some like it's not specified, right? It just says they
What?
encountered something.
They encounter the slugs, which are like the sign to them that the Great Ones are there. And they encounter the Thumerians there. And they find the blood there. So that's the three important things.
Okay. Okay. And so they get back upstairs and they're like, we're just gonna analyze all these things and look at them for now? Like, and
Yeah.
then
No, they
okay.
experimented with the blood.
Is it before the fishing hamlet?
Yes.
Okay.
The sequence of events is they go to the catacombs, they find the old
Mhm,
blood and the phantasms. They bring the old
mhm,
blood back to the surface, they experiment with the old blood, it starts transforming people. Willem realizes that people are not enlightened enough to control
mhm.
the transformations that are occurring. So if they want to forcibly evolve humans into the next like phase into becoming the great ones, they need to understand like the wisdom of the inner eyes, and they need to like commune with the great ones themselves. That's when they learn about the fishing hamlet, so that's why they go to the
Oh,
fishing hamlet.
no,
Yeah.
sorry, Richard, that makes no sense. Because then,
Why?
if Willem's like, we're not enlightened, we gotta meditate, wisdom of the inner eye, like, he wouldn't go to a fishing hamlet to massacre people, because that's the opposite of
No, he's meditating with the third chord, that's why he goes there.
Really?
He
Hmm.
goes there because the stuff that's in the fishing hamlet is helping him meditate.
What? Really?
That's why he's like, I need more eyes in my brain and stuff, because he goes there and they I mean, he didn't go there
Is
because
that,
he what?
sorry, is that cut content or is it real contact? I need more eyes in my
Well, it's
brain.
both, because Willem talks about like needing eyes and all the eyes at byrgenwerth. Because what happens is they go to the
Eyes.
fishing hamlet, they kill the people there, and they get the Orphan of Koz's third chord. Okay, by killing the people there, they come to understand that their like brain structures are somewhat different. Like there's something about
Mm.
their biology that's allowing them to like begin to ascend to become the kin of the cosmos.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the Orphan of Koz's chord basically gets them like a way to contact Koz.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when Willem starts his whole like, okay, now we're ready, we can begin like the meditation process.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, he was probably
He
doing
said,
it before as well, but it didn't quite work. So like he's like, we have to
oh,
figure out a new way of doing it. We have to like find ways of communing with other planes, and because the whole point is he wants to understand how the Great Ones work, like
mhm.
biologically and in terms of their like minds, so that he can make himself like that. That's why they go to the
Yeah,
Hamlet. Yeah.
okay. Um, okay, and at what point, um, oh God, I lost my train of thought. Um, okay, at what point does Willem live? I mean, Lawrence leave.
We think Lawrence leaves about 20 years ago. That seems to be the most.
So Lawrence leaves after the fishing hamlet, right? Yeah,
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We assume it's been okay, this is the assumption. The assumption is it happens 20 years ago, right?
Mhm.
That the Lawrence leaves Byrgenwerth Fianum founds the Healing Church 20 years ago. That's when he adopts the orphans who become the choir. So that's why the choir, when you meet them, are in like their early 20s, because they grabbed them when they were kids. So the assumption that we're working off is that when they leave, Willem is 60, Lawrence is like 30, Mikolash is like 20. So then by the time we get to the game, Willem is 80, which is doable. Mikolash is like 40. He's taken over from Lawrence. Lawrence is like 50. Which about matches up with like the portrait of Lawrence in Canehurst.
Okay.
Because he's like an older man. He's got like a beard and everything. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So for this thing, I just want to focus on Willem.
Cool.
So the last significant... Did you say cool?
Yeah.
Cool. So the last significant event in Willem's life would have been Lawrence leaving, right?
Well, the last significant event in his life is us killing him.
But we don't have to. You monster?
I want the eye rune.
No. Oh my god. But no, I mean in terms of like, let's say, like Lawrence leaves, and then Willem's like, "Alright, let's go meditate," and then
they were already doing that before Lawrence left.
Yeah, but maybe from there he's like doing it intensely, so nothing really happens to him after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think after the Rom debacle, that's probably when
there's the Rom debacle. I forgot about that. So when does that happen?
That's a good question, because we actually don't really know. We assume it happens like maybe. The confusing thing is they decide that Rom is blocking the red moon.
Yeah, right.
So presumably Rom may have come into being after the red moon over Old Yharnam. But then it's also possible that like Rom was already there and somehow learned to block the red moon. The thing is, like, Rom is blocking the red moon. She's also blocking Mensis's ability to reach Mikolash. And Mikolash already has the, like... He already has Murgo. So the question is whether, like, Rom's presence started that, or, like, Rom was already Rom, and then Rom was already a spider, and then learned... Oh, no, actually, no. Okay. Rom has to have become a spider before Mikolash left Byrgenwerth, because he remembers her. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, Rom became a spider before Mikolash left Byrgenwerth.
Yeah.
And the cord that was used to ascend Rom was the cord from Orphan of Cause.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else? Just like in terms of, imagine from Willem's perspective, like these are pretty much the events he lived, you know?
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't know about, like maybe he would know about the Healing Church, but that's not very important to like his side of things. I feel like after like Lawrence pieced out, he was like, okay, bye, I'm gonna meditate on the Lunarium now. See you, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I think that's it. So, yeah, I'm going to look at the notes, going to try to write something up, and we can look over it again. Cool?
Yep.
Well, thank you, Rich. I really appreciate this.